everybody. I am here with Dean Banowetz.
That's it, the one and only.
That's right, and we are so lucky.
I'm like, is there another Dean Banowetz? But there's not. Even though I have a huge family, there's only one of me.
Clearly, God made you and he broke the mold. That is.
He had to. That mold was huge.
And that's just for the beard.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm so happy. He's done everything. Everything. Anyone you can think of. Maybe not anyone you can think of. We're going to talk about that. But he works on American Idol, has the big department head, Dancing with the Stars, Shark Tank, numerous celebrities.
Right.
The InStyler.
Correct.
You helped to create that?
Yeah, I'm one of the partners. Creating magic.
Yeah.
Lots of it.
Yeah, and QVC. So you
QVC,
host.
US, UK, Italy, Germany, and France.
That's it?
For right now. Possibly, Japan, but
Oh.
I am huge, literally, in Japan. Yeah. I'm a giant, because everybody's like this tall.
I think that's awesome. So, I want to know, we have Dean here because I think you're incredible.
You're very sweet. Thank you.
And you've had this rock star career. And I'm curious where you came from. And I'm also curious if this is something you always wanted to do.
It's funny that you even asked that, because when I was in school, in high school, I'm the 13th of 15 children.
Wow.
8 boys, 7 girls, born and raised on a farm in Iowa, hence the cows in the background. It's a little throwback to Iowa, always keeps me real. I always look at it and I'm like, okay, gratitude check, take it forward. So, my thing is in high school, I sang, made state singing in high school, and I was offered a lot of scholarships, but to me that was a fun little hobby, and I really loved to do it. But anytime I felt like if you take a hobby and you make it a career, now it becomes drudgery, and it's not so much fun anymore.
Yes.
And I was offered scholarships, but I kind of didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I needed money for school, so I joined the Army. So I was with the U.S. Army, Soldier of the Year 1987, FYI. So I can do your hair and kick your ass and milk your cows.
I love that.
I am awesome. No, whatever. But so I went through the Army, and my whole thing too was I needed money for school, and it was something that I had no dream of joining the Army. Mm-hmm. But it taught me a lot of discipline, and I felt like I was a completely changed person when I came out. And then I wanted to study art education and art history. And then things kind of shifted because I didn't really want to work in a museum, didn't want to teach. And so my brother Leon, who's number 12, he's like, you're a guy, you're really creative, you've got a fun personality. He goes, do hair. And I go, how would you know what I should do? He goes, I'm an art director for a magazine. I know how much money we pay hair and makeup people when we do shoots. And I go, I'm living in Iowa. Am I going to do a Farm and Fleet commercial shoot? Do you know what I mean? I didn't connect.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, just do it. It's a really great career. You're going to have an amazing time, and you're incredibly talented. So I literally went to beauty school 2 weeks later, and I have honestly never looked back.
Really?
Ever. Didn't know I was going to do it. Didn't know I ever wanted to do it. But it was like that first day I walked into Bill Hill's College of Cosmetology in Davenport, Iowa, and the back of a furniture carpet warehouse, I felt like I was home.
Yeah.
Had no clue what a Marcel iron was, but that's what school was for. I learned everything I needed to know. And it was a really great experience.
Right. So, at this point, is there any other job that you think you could that would compare to what you're doing? Or you're so happy with the way you're good?
I'm really good.
That makes me
right
happy.
Now.
That's good.
Do you know what I mean? And and I always feel like if I am longing for something different, mm-hmm. then I take it. Then I take an education class. Like I just finished the Sharon Blaine education program, which is insane. She's from Australia. She's an award-winning hairdresser who has done so many amazing things. I took her class in Santa Monica, and because she does it periodically, she travels all around the world. Mm-hmm. And it pushed me, and I love to be pushed, and I love to learn different and unique things. Anne Bray, who's with Aquage. We are besties. There's been many times where I'm like, Anne, I need a little energy. I need a little education. She goes, let's do this, baby.
Yeah.
And I think Anne, she would probably hate me for saying this. She's in her 70s. And she's from back in the day with Hair Olympics and like just old school traditional craftsmen. Like her work is unbelievable. And so I surge forward with other educational things if I ever get in a rut.
And I think when you love what you do, right, it's enjoyable. So it's,
and it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
You know?
Right. Is there anyone that you haven't worked with yet that is like,
anyone I haven't worked with, like hair celebrity or celeb?
Both. Just
whoever.
I don't care if it's a politician.
I would love to be able to. I would love to be the first hairdresser that's on staff for the first female president when Hillary works it out. That's all.
Do the hair, I'll do the makeup.
Done. But decorated veteran, I have military past, I know customs and courtesies, I know the drill. I mean, I would love to work with her because I have so much respect for her.
Yeah.
And a little change would be good.
Yeah, be awesome.
Not that she needs it, but it's always encouraged. I mean, I'm very attracted to Sandra Bullock's personality because of the way she holds her family very dear to her. It's very important to me. So those are the celebs.
Right.
For hair people, I'm really fortunate to say I've worked with almost everyone. I really wish I would have met Vidal Sassoon before he had passed away. But his daughter Eden is a good friend, and and everything happens for a reason. I wish I would have met him, but I've worked with some amazing people in the industry. Ruth Rowe, just did tons of fun stuff with her, and we've done lecture series together. Win Claybaugh with Paul Mitchell. Who else? Nicholas French with Matrix. Vivian McKinder. There's so many people. Anne Bray and Eric Fisher. There's, and I've really been fortunate where when I go to a show and I see somebody that I admire, I get a little giddy inside and a little nervous, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go say hello, and I'm going to just tell them what they mean to me, and I'm going to let it go.
Yeah.
Because there's been many times where I'm like, he doesn't care about me, she doesn't care about me. And I know how I feel when somebody comes up and makes a point to say, you know what? The stuff you did on Idol XYZ season when you worked with Carrie Underwood, like, I can't get that out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I go, oh my gosh, I appreciate that so much. Because in the moment, as an artist, you're like, did I make the right choice? Yeah. Or did I push it too far? Oh, maybe I should have pulled back.
Yeah.
And you always think about those, and I think it's human nature where you always want to second guess what you're doing.
You know what, I was looking at some of your work and I saw was it the Sanjaya?
The Sanjaya Pony Hawk?
Pony Hawk. So,
that was me.
Did you feel good about that? I thought it was great. I loved it.
Do you know what it was?
Did people give you a hard time about that?
Do you know, it was really funny because this happened before there was social media.
Yeah.
This was when we had, message boards on a website.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when I did the Sanjaya Pony Hawk, and we had I was kind of prepping him for a couple of weeks. I'm like, Gwen Stefani week is coming up. She loves to do crazy stuff. My friend Danilo, who's another amazing session stylist, does Gwen's hair, and he is uber fabulous. And I was like, Danilo always does really fun stuff. Sanjaya, think about something fun that we can do. And I go, like a mohawk. And he was like, a mohawk? And I was like, yeah, just think about it. Mull it over. And so when it came down to it, he goes, okay, I want to do a mohawk. And I'm like, mohawks are out. We're going to do a pony hawk. Because pony hawks are new and fresh. And he was like, what's a pony hawk?
Did you make it up?
I totally made it up.
I knew it. I saw that. And I thought, you had to have made that. That was brilliant.
Because I'm like, listen, lucky number 7. I'm going to do 7 ponytails strategically placed in a mohawk fashion. But in my mind, I'm like, as a hairdresser, I need this hairstyle to stay all day because it's a live show.
Sure.
I don't want I don't want anything to fall. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, perfect.
It was awesome.
And you know, the thing too was, the thing I love about Sanjaya is he's fearless. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I remember he was going through some of my kits, my just my set bag, and he pulls out the tiniest curling iron, and he goes, "Can you use this on me?" And I go, "Absolutely, have a seat in my chair." And I remember I curled the mid shaft of his hair and left the little ends pointed, and straight, and then used some texture wax and kind of broke it up a little bit. That hair was on my website. I had thousands of emails from women all over the U.S. wanting to know how I did that to his hair.
Wow.
The American Idol message boards were like, "Can you talk to some of these? Can you put a posting of how you styled his hair with the curl?" And I'm like, sure. But you never know what is going to resonate with people.
Right.
If they're going to love it, or they're going to hate it, or they're going to be intrigued by it.
Right.
You never know.
So here's my question for, the maybe the average, I don't want to say average. Here's my question for viewers that are watching that aren't, big celebrity hairdressers.
Right.
Maybe they're aspiring. What do you think? Because I think it's more than just talent that separates the people that really are successful and the people that aren't. I tend to think it's talent and it's personality.
Right.
And it's how you treat people. So when you get a big celebrity in your chair, because when you're working with like a Sanjaya, you're working on some of the contestants and they're making their way up. They're not quite there, so they're kind of green and they're most of the time
they're not affected.
They're not affected. So what happens when you get a big celebrity in your chair? What makes it that they're so comfortable with you? What is your secret?
Well, first and foremost, one of my dear friends, Win Claybaugh, Winn, wrote a book, and it's called Be Nice or Else. I think everybody should read it, because once you start to practice niceness, it becomes habitual. Mm-hmm. And anytime you are genuinely nice, it spreads. So when I have someone sitting in my chair, and you know what? We've all encountered, the undesirable clients where nothing is right, and you start to wonder if you can ever please someone. Mm. But I never worry about that, because I want to make sure they love me. And the only way that can happen is if I kill them with kindness. Because it is really difficult for anyone to be mean to a nice person. Period. So, from the beginning of the day, and trust me, there's days where I don't want to look at anyone, and I would just rather poke them in the eye with my rat tail comb and bail, but I would never do that, obviously. You have to just dig down and bring out the nice bone.
Right.
And just be that person.
Right.
Because I would rather kill it with kindness and make you never want to go to anybody else but me. And then you know what happens? I will make sure I'm never available, but I will make sure that you love me.
Ooh, so if you call Dean and he's not available, he's available.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I always want to leave that lasting impression that, oh, you know what? He was a really nice guy. He's talented. I would work with him again.
Yeah.
But we all know when they become a lot of,
Yeah, it's,
a lot of work.
I think sometimes you just don't take things personally. You learn to just, some people, if they're just unhappy,
but you can't take anything personally. I mean, growing up on a farm with 15 kids, I didn't take anything personally. And I never do, because you know what? It's not my stuff to work through. It's your stuff to work through.
Right.
And I always have to remember that.
Yes.
Because it really is not about how this one hair is curled. It might be something else in your life, and you're just bringing it out with this curl.
Yeah.
So always remember, it's so not about you.
Yeah.
Because I'm just curling the hair.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
So I always be nice and focus on being genuine to people. And I also know what I can do and what I cannot do. So if there's a request that's so outlandish, I have no issue saying, you know what, I'm not your guy.
Right.
It's not for me, and it's just something I don't do. I have no issue saying that. And a lot of people do because they don't want to lose a gig.
Right.
I would rather lose that gig with a good reputation than to mess something up.
Right. So here's something that I had put up a bunch of pictures of you.
Right?
With your fabulous beard.
Thank you.
So we have to segue to the beard because you can't ignore that. Like you
It's
just
a lot
can't.
going on. It's 14 months old.
It is so. If you could feel this, if you could.
And usually
it is so great.
I do a lot of different things with it because I blow it out with a round brush.
Right.
Sometimes
and you did the 12 Days of Christmas.
I did the 12. Yep, I did the 12 Beards of Christmas. I actually do a beard design for every major holiday.
Yeah.
I think May Day was my last one I did, full of flowers.
You gonna do a beard book?
Do you know what? I'm not sure. I might do a beard calendar for my family, or I might just do it for, I don't know, some charity.
Or beard products?
I've been approached by a lot of companies for products. I'm currently working on one with the InStyler.
Good.
Because I use a lot of electronic tools to really smooth it out. So working on something with that. But the whole reason the beard started was, first of all, it's on trend. And the other thing too is, I'm in the hair world. I'm in the hair industry.
Yeah.
And the thing is if I can't grow a beard, who can grow a beard?
Me.
Do you know what I mean? And I just take care of it, and it's fun and it's trendy. Will I have it forever? No. But when it's time, I'll get rid of it. Probably when I turn 50.
Really?
Which isn't that much.
I'm a little jealous.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I have this.
And do you know what's
close?
And do you know what's really crazy?
What?
Because you're in the union.
Yeah.
And I'm in the union. As a union hair and makeup person, who would you think would work with beards? You would think hair people. No.
Yeah.
Makeup people are the ones responsible for facial grooming.
Right.
But I think it's very funny because when I'm on set, of course, if any dude has a beard, they're like drawn to me. Hey, do you think you can trim my beard? I go, that would be makeup.
Ding, ding, ding.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it's very funny, but I've built some, different wigs and or beards, adding pieces and just experimenting and having fun. Because beard texture is very different from hair texture that you have on the top of your head. So I like just kind of manipulating, and you know what? I just like to be silly and have fun with it.
Yeah, you do.
And I do.
And it affects everyone around you. It really does.
It's kind of hilarious because when you go on social media and you're like having a crappy day and you see me with my 3 birds in a beard where I literally make my beard into a nest with 3 birds, you're like, oh my God, he's batshit crazy.
I love
and then you're like, I love him. And then you swipe on by to the next thing. A little spark in your day.
Here's my last question. When you think about yourself in your elder years,
right?
Let's say, what do you see for yourself?
It's funny.
What do you think?
Because
where are you going to be?
Somebody asked me the other day what I would love to do when I retire. And then I was like, when I retire? I'm just like, my mom will be 90 this fall. And, does she work full-time? No, but she is so motivated and she is always busy. And I feel like even though I might not work full-time in a salon, I feel like I would work a day or 2 days in a salon because I love that interaction with people. I'm incredibly social. And I think of my retirement as taking a month off here and taking a month off there.
Right.
Where I still work and I still enjoy what I do, but it would be great to take literally a month off and travel the world and just experience culture.
Would you do some singing?
I don't think I would do any singing, but I love to work with singers and dancers a lot because it is definitely it's an incredible gift that they have, and I love to see people build and grow with the talent within.
Good.
It's really important.
Yeah. And lastly, what advice would you give to somebody that's out there that wants a career like you've had, and anything that you can tell them that you think might might help them.
Well, it's not just one thing.
Right.
It's a multitude of different things. I have so many people going, oh my God, I want to do what you do. But the key is they don't want to work for it. They just magically want a helicopter to pick them up and put them on top of the mountain. But you know, that journey up the mountain is what it's all about. That's when you learn. That's when you fail. And when you fail, it forces you to grow more. So don't be afraid of failure. I am a big yes person. I always say yes to whoever asks any questions or anything of me. It could be a random person on Facebook. I will answer the question because I feel like I need to be approachable because that's what I like. I don't like meeting somebody who I've idolized in the hair world or celebrity world and they can't even give me the courtesy of a hello.
Right.
That bothers me. So I don't ever want to be that person.
Yeah.
And so the best thing to do is just work really hard.
Well, it's a small circle, you know? So you see the people go up, you see them come down, and you really have to be careful who you interact with at all times.
Right. And you know, when you work with celebrities, you know, because, you know, I was Ryan Seacrest's personal hair and, you know, makeup guy for 10 years. And
I think that was the first time I met you.
I think it was.
It was up in Vegas.
It was
the Radio Music Awards.
The RMAs.
And I remember because you were so nice to me, and I remember I was going to do Ryan's makeup.
Right.
And you were going to do his hair, but you had usually done his makeup, but you were going to have me do his makeup, and he was very nice.
Well,
no attitude. It was lovely.
Yeah, because
I remember that.
Attitude is not where it's at.
That. Yeah.
And you have to, but you see, you remember nice people.
I remember.
And you just want to get rid of those mean people in your life. But, you know, working with Ryan, I know when to say when. 10 years was plenty, and I really enjoyed the process. And I was like, I need more in my life. Mm-hmm. And so I choose to journey on, and that's when I partnered up with everybody at the InStyler to create tools and just to do something different. We're in an amazing career.
Yeah.
We can do so many different things. And, you know, me as a hairdresser, I was a platform artist for Matrix. I was a color celebrity colorist for Joico. I owned and operated my salons in Iowa. I was a manufacturer rep. You know, you work on a television show, you're a celebrity stylist, you run a department, you work, you know, I remember Linda Flowers, amazing hairdresser.
Hunger Games,
within
right?
the union, hired me on the Hunger Games to be a hair supervisor and to be a builder and build pieces and wigs and everything to use on the show. And that to me is amazing. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I want to be a film hairdresser because I don't like the hours, but I love the experience. Mm-hmm. You know, I did Katy Perry's all the wigs for her world tour and for the opening of the AMAs, and it's like big live productions.
You did a good
feeds
job.
Me. Thank you.
You did.
Thanks, I appreciate
it. Now.
Because it was like, you know, it was like 24 geisha wigs.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember I was there. I was there working on the show.
It was a lot.
It was phenomenal.
And the thing too is you just have to say yes to experiences and pay attention to what you're doing and how you're doing it and everything. You know, sometimes we get too focused in that tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. Look around, see who's around you, and experience everything you can.
Right. And then you too can perhaps be as fortunate as Dean has been with this phenomenal
all you have to do is work.
Career.
And work hard.
Yeah.
And it will happen.
Yeah. And you have done
Holla!
an extraordinary job, my friend.
Peace and hair grease.
That's
Love
right.
it. It's good. It's a good career.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. And until next time, we were honored.
Take care. Be fabulous.
Bye.
Hugs and kisses. Mwah.
I need to ask you this.
Ask me whatever you want.
Okay. So.
I am single. Go ahead. No, really, I am.
Okay. So when you're at a restaurant or a movie theater, walking down the street, and you see someone and their hair is just crazy. It's like dry and nappy and frizzy, and poofy, and it's, you know, looks like something from 2 decades ago. Does it make you insane? Do you ever just want to walk up and go, honey?
Let's have a minute. Do you know what?
Can you turn it off?
Well, this is my experience with this, because I think we've all had it in the industry. I remember in Iowa, there were 2 guys that worked in the salon with me, and they were 2 straight guys. I clearly am not. We would go to happy hour, and their way of recruiting clients was to go up to a woman and go, you know what, I could really help you with your hair. And I was so horrified, because in my mind, and I told him this too, I'm like, you guys are so rude.
Yeah.
You don't know if she spent 2 hours on her hair and she's in her heyday. She thinks she's got it going on. It's so rude and offensive. Yeah. And it's a fine line for me. I never, ever comment on anything unless I'm asked. Period. It like viscerally makes me sick to my stomach that someone would have the audacity to go up to someone else and just berate a look.
Yeah.
It bothers me a lot. And you know, the thing too is know your place. There's an easy situation. Oh my God, what do? I'm a hairdresser. Hey, if you ever need a hairdresser, let me know. I would love to do your hair sometime.
Right.
Very simple, very easy, and you're like, oh my God, he's a sweet guy. I would totally let him do my hair.
You stay in your own lane.
In your lane, boo.
That's right. That's good.
Pass when you need it. Pass when you can pass, and it's safe.
See?
For real.
That's right. That's why you. Another reason why he has made it, because you know when to talk and when not to.
Right. But it's also about common courtesy and being nice to someone.
Well, it is. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
Always.
Being nice all the time, just to be not a nice person.
You know, it's funny because you experience different things. Like some people love my beard, some people hate it. And it always amazes me when people come up and they're like, when are you going to cut that off?
Oh.
And I'm like, probably when you cut your hair off. How do you answer that question?
I know.
It's that sort of thing. So I'm always very conscientious how people feel.
Yeah. I think that's wonderful. Bravo.
Be nice.
That's right.